Hello my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. How is everybody doing? Hope you've all had a good, I was going to say a good weekend, but I might be putting this out on Monday night. I have put a video out already today, which was the Burton Wonderland Tarot. But I still might put this out Sunday night. So if you're watching this and it's a Sunday, I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And if you're watching this on Monday, then I hope the start of your week is going well. I'm doing a couple of videos today because of time, really. There's a lot of decks that have come in and are still coming in. And I wanted to have time to go through them. Really busy at the moment. So last weekend was when I travelled down to London for the awards and the conference. I worked yesterday to an exhibition, so I've just got today off. Busy week ahead, and Saturday I'm going to Harrogate, so I'll do a vlog as well next Saturday. We haven't done one for a while, have we? Well, I did the Glastonbury one, but anyway, I wanted to jump on today because I just wanted to geek out a little bit about one of my favourite all-time favourite tarot decks, which is the Crystal Tarot, and its new makeover, its new look. But before we get to that point, I just want to mention, because I know I've showed this deck a lot, and again, when we did Spotlight last night, I also got these cards out. And I don't regret at all trimming my version right down. I struggled with all the borders and everything that was on this. It is a Lo Scarabeo deck, but and it is beautiful, but some of the cards, not the pips of course, but some of the cards I really struggled with, particularly the courts. I was like, now, you know, you have to really concentrate. But I know the deck quite well, so it's not been too much of a challenge. It just makes me kind of pause and reflect and think, okay, now, yeah. But I heard it was going out of print. So a few weeks ago, a shop in town called Ice 9, I've showed it on my channel. It's a great little indie shop. I've had this in probably for a couple of years. No one's ever bought it. And the idea behind it was, one, I wanted a backup in case anything happened to this. Two, I thought if it's going out of print and there's one sitting in the shop, I may as well have it and not open it. I changed my mind about that. And then I heard that there was a new version, what Lo Scarabeo are referring to as a, I think they're calling it something like the definitive edition or something like that. Yeah, definitive edition. And I was very excited about it. I know the cards are glossy and these ones are matte, but you know, I don't mind that because these are so vibrant as well. So I decided I'm still going to open this because then I've got like the original, I've got a trimmed modified version, and we've got the new version. And for the purpose of this video, I can kind of show you its evolution really. So let's just take the wrapper off. It wasn't that expensive, it was $29.95. I made a bit of a dog's dinner of that, haven't I? You can tell this has been in the shop a long time. It's really, all the plastic is sticking to the box. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. What a mess. I'm going to pause and I'll be back. Okay, job done. All the plastic's removed. Yeah, so this is the, oh, I said all the plastic's removed. I should have looked inside first, shouldn't I? So there is a bit of a colour difference here. I mean, it's just, I guess the print runs, but it's a lot lighter in this version, but I don't think anything else has changed. It looks pretty much the same, although that's richer than that one. Okay, I'm just jumping in here for a second because I'd actually finished the video, it was uploading, and then I checked something out and I stopped the upload, and I'm just putting this little segment in because I'm at the point where I was talking about the colour and saturation differences, which will play out again when I go through the video, but I mentioned the difference here in the colour saturation and I made a reference that it was probably just different print runs. And then I decided to have a look at the little white books that come with it, and you will notice, so this is the earlier edition, the one that I trimmed, which is more saturated. If you look at the little white book, it actually says 2004. Now, again, in the video, I don't know if I've already said it at this point, if it comes later, that I thought the deck was released around 2006. I was out by 2 years there. So this version, my oldest version and the trimmed version, is 21 years old now. And then what's interesting is this version says printed in March 2021, which is 17 years after the original print run. They didn't change anything in terms of the layout or design or anything like that, but there's clearly a difference in the saturation of colour. They've toned it down and muted it a little bit in the 2021 version, which is, as I said, some 17 years after. And then, of course, now, just 4 years on, we have the definitive version, as Lo Scarabeo are promoting it as. But you can really see the difference here, can't you? But there isn't a difference in cardstock. I mean, maybe it's because it's bigger, but this feels a little bit more flimsier than that. But if it was cut down, would I feel that that was the same? I'm not sure. But I just thought that was quite interesting that there was a print run initially in 2004 and then another print run in 2021, and they've actually put the date on that. And then they don't put a copyright of 2004 or say that it was originally from 2004. Anyway, I just wanted to jump in and put that in there, on with the rest of the video. Anyhow, let's go in here. This is like one of those kind of cigarette packet openings. That was a lot easier. Maybe I think I should have done that with the outside of the box. Okay, let's pop that there. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the deck first. So it's created by Elisabetta Trevisan, is the artist. She's known for her delicate stained glass inspired artwork, and that's why it's called the Crystal Tarot. I think a lot of people thought it would be to do with, you know, gems and semi-precious stones. Those crystal visions, which I think is probably more, if that's in keeping, if that's what you're looking for. Let's pop them to one side. Now, as you can see here, you've got the multiple languages. You've got Il Matto, the Fool, Dinar, Le Fou, El Loco, on all the cards. And then you've got this weird, and there's still a border on this, but you've got this kind of weird design where there's a line going through the image at the top and the bottom. These are the backs, by the way. And I just struggled with them. I mean, Lo Scarabeo have moved on and they've started, you know, getting rid of their multiple languages on the cards. And they've gone to things like symbols and numbers and stuff like that to get around that universally recognized symbols. This one does seem a lot more vibrant in color. This one seems more muted. let's get to the Ace of Swords. It's going to be the last suit, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it might just, I'm going to bring the camera down. It might just be the lighting. I mean, it's subtle. It's subtle if it is. So you can see what I did here. I just took it off. And we've got this kind of bulging at the sides as well. It's bizarre. And it does make the deck quite small, not tiny, but a lot smaller. But this one for me, I edged it in green as well. Let's check the backs. Yeah, it's more richer, slightly. I'm not sure it's showing as much on camera, but for me, particularly for the pips, and these are Uda Picard inspired pips, I loved working with it, and I still do love working with it, but it's a nice size to throw in a bag and take with you. But I decided back when I knew that this had been in the shop a long time, look, just pick it up. For the price, I've got a backup. Because I've modified that one, I've got this as a backup, and you know, it's a beautiful deck. And if it is going out of print, then I'd regret it knowing that it was in the shop for so long and I just left it there on the shelf. So that's that version. But now we have this new definitive, as Lo Scarabeo are referring to it as, edition, and the cards are a little bit bigger. So let's take them out. But I love these telescopic boxes. They're really sturdy and they stack quite nicely on the shelf. We've got a card, so we can already see that it's the same height, but it's a little bit wider. But look at the difference. You see so much more of the image. It does seem more luscious. It's probably going to be more in keeping with that first edition that I've got. But we do have a border, and the border again cuts through the artwork, but it goes right to the bottom of the end top of the card and the sides. You just got an internal border and then a panel here. Whereas this one, you've got white all the way around, plus the two cut throughs, and then this strange bulging top and bottoms in blue. So there's the book. I mean, this is an improved book because I think we get 56 pages in English, and there's a lot of text in there. So we get that much of the book, nearly half of it really. So nice little book, as opposed to the little white book that you got before. Tiny writing and just like a line. In fact, in English, we only got, I think is it 13? 12 pages. 12 pages, that's all we got. If that, with the beginning as well. So the book is improved as well. Okay, so the backs have changed completely, as you can see here. I like the design of this, and again, it's like a mirror image, so it's fully reversible, whereas the original wasn't, as you can see here by the moon in the center. So we've got a fully reversible image now for the back, which I think people tend to like if they're a reverse reader. Cardstock is a lot thicker, so if I put it like this, look at that. So it's a thicker deck, as is tradition with these new deluxe definitive versions. Lots of people love Lo Scarabeo's old cardstock though, you know, particularly if they're riffle shufflers. This riffle really well by all accounts. I'm not, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm an overhand shuffler. Let me get the Fool from the little deck, which is here, just so you can have a bit of a comparison. If you do have this version and like me you struggled with the borders, this just gives you an idea of what, you know, what it would look like completely trimmed. And you know, you may want to just trim off the sides here and still leave the number and Il Matto at the top. I mean, the English is down here, the Fool, so that won't really work, but that's an option as well. So overall impressions, I really like what they've done. And again, we're going from a matte, silky matte finish to a more glossy finish, but because this is such a vibrant deck, I think it really lends itself to a glossy, particularly because it's replicating stained glass. I mean, glass is shiny, right? So it does kind of, you know, lend itself to a gloss finish. Now, Lo Scarabeo refer to this deck in their catalogue as a legendary deck, and it has been out, I think, since about 2006. So it'll be 20 years old next year. I believe that date is right. And it is iconic. It's still in print and it's still being re-released. Now, if a deck wasn't popular, you know, publishers wouldn't invest time into it, and I can see why it is. And as I said right at the beginning, this is one of my all-time favorite decks. I think it is so beautiful on all levels. I know some people don't like pips. These are not Marseille style pips. They are inspired by Eau de Picard. And there's books, you know, that you can get that would help as well if you struggle with pips. Okay, so I'll put these ones to one side and we'll start to have a look at the images, and I'll do some talking as we go through them as well. Do let me know in the comments as well which version you prefer. Do you think they've improved it? I mean, I certainly do, but even things like the backs and the change of cardstock and things like that. I love the flowing lines in this deck and these beautiful jewel-toned colours, just exquisite. And the artwork is very intricate, it's very detailed, but it's just so beautiful. Every card, as you can see, is individually illustrated. Even the pips, they're not, you know, generic pips. When we get there, you'll see that. I do wonder if, because Lo Scarabeo have just gone to English titles, whether there are different versions in different languages available in other countries. Oh, just look at those colours, look at that gorgeous purple. I do feel that the artwork really invites meditative readings, focusing on like our inner state, or if we're looking for clarity. Oh, look at this, it's reversed. Is that the first one that's done that? That's interesting. So the strength card is a mirror image. You see more of the art as well, look. So here it cuts off with these discs, and it would do as well with this border, but the artwork continues, which shows how they kind of narrowed it down for the original deck. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Let me just bring one up closer just so you can really see the beauty. Look at the detailing, the little spirals and scrolls there. It does remind me standing in a huge cathedral looking up at some stained glass art. Death card, one of my favourites. Temperance. Look at the devil. And the star is reversed as well. Interesting. So far, strength and the star. I mean, this one, I don't know, this one feels more traditional. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I always, when I visualize, and it'll be because of the RWS, but when I visualize the star card, she is, you know, to the right, leaning to the left. To the right of the card, I mean by that. Love this Sun card. And Judgment is also mirrored. And so is the World. I wonder if there's any significance behind doing that, or whether they just wanted to have a note. I mean, there is a noticeable difference anyway, but I mean, in terms of perhaps they're thinking, well, why would somebody necessarily buy it? Let's, you know, mirror some of the images. I don't know. But it's gorgeous. All right, now, people who don't like pips, I'm probably going to lose you here, but I would encourage you to stick with it, because it might change your opinion, because I think this deck in particular, I don't know, it changes the way I see, or the way I used to see pips. And now I'm fine with all pips, you know, whether they're Marseille style pip cards. Let me grab one just to illustrate. So something like that, which is the 10 of wands, or batons, with it being in this. Here, the 8 of coins, etc. Or whether it's just random pips like this, where they're just positioned. But again, the colours in this is one of my favourite pip decks. Absolutely love it. And I've got quite a few now, decks that are inspired by Uda Picard. Still don't have the original Uda Picard tarot, but one day, one day I'll manifest it. But yeah, I mean, just look at the beautiful detailing in these. 2, remember, is about balance, duality, polarity. But again, we're working with water here. So cups are our emotions, balancing our emotions. 3 is growth and expansion. That's all you need to start. 4, stability, structure, order. And I know Uda Picard will have different interpretations, but I wouldn't get bogged down with that, because I don't, you know, I read tarot as I read tarot. And for me, it's by the illustrations, if we're talking about a fully illustrated tarot deck, underpinned by the elements, underpinned by numerology. And I get lots of comments from tarot purists saying, well, you're reading them wrong, you're reading tarot the whole way. Well, it works. I get spot on readings. So, you know, I'm sure there isn't an almighty being out there in the universe saying, oh, he's reading those cards wrong, let's confuse him. You know, however you view tarot, if you're talking of divination, then you're tapping into something greater, aren't you? And if it works for you, then it works for you. And if you read it for self-reflection and introspection, then it doesn't matter either, does it? So for me, if I'm looking at the 8 here, it's an abundance. We're talking about an abundance. 9, attainment. And that emotional fulfillment, I mean, and then the completion, the unity, the wholeness of the 10. So don't fear, pips. And I've done a lot of work over the last year, and I've been sending out slides to people and things like that, just to try and help with pips, because I do want people to appreciate pip decks. You know, RWS is my soul deck and always will be. That's the idea of a soul deck. But for the longest time, I would disregard tarot decks that were pips. And I feel now that, you know, I'm making up for lost time, because they've got their own unique qualities. And they're very clear. Look how beautiful this Ace of Coins is. So this is, you know, Pentacles has always been my favourite suit, always. Closely followed by the Cups. But these coins in this deck are just exquisite. They're so beautifully done. And I love the arrangement of them as well. We can see a different coloration here. The brown is a lot darker. And there's a more red, stronger red than here. And I do think, you know, if you're a beginner, it might not be the most ideal deck to start with. I don't know, but you've got a book, so that's the way to go. And I would get an Uda Picard book. I can't remember what it's called now. But I mean, if you just went online and typed that in, it would come up with some. Oh wow, look at the difference between the two, the richness in this one. It's a definite improvement. I would say the strength of this deck is the beautiful, luminous art that would really appeal to intuitive readers and those who appreciate beauty in their tarot decks. It feels, and always has felt for me, very poetic, emotionally expressive. Look. Stunning. This 2025 edition has an excellent production quality. If I could have had if I could suggest any improvement at all, would probably just be to take out the white border completely, and just have the white panel at the bottom for the title. However, it's very ornate around the edges. It's a minor thing. It doesn't distract me in any way like this version did. One of my favourite queens. She is stunning, look. Look at her golden gown. Beautiful. And her wand, this fiery, beautiful wand that she's holding. I'm curious to hear from people as well who, I mean, I love hearing from everyone, and if this is the first time you're seeing it and you're inspired to dive in and get it, great, let me know. That's what this video had an effect on you in that way. But I'm also really curious to hear from people who have this version, and whether you're keeping it and happy with it, or whether you feel that this deck adds anything whereby you want to invest and get the 2025 definitive version. So beautiful. And I actually thought the cards were a lot larger than the original, but they're not. I think Lo Scarabeo tend to be a little bit smaller than a standard. Yeah, so you can see here, they're narrower anyway. So when you put these two together, it's an exact tarot size now. It just feels bigger against these, but they've always been a little bit narrower. Look how rich they are. This was my #1 deck last night. So Cheryl and I, during Spotlight, usually rank all our decks, but because we had so many, we just decided to do our top 5. But this one won out, closely followed by Bonestone and Earthflesh, because, I mean, Monitorium, I mean, can do no wrong. Love her and her artwork. Look at the colours in that sky. I love this night. Wading through water, look. That's certainly how I look at it anyway. And then our King of Swords. Oh, what a beauty. Well done, Lo Scarabeo. You've taken a classic, or as I think they referred to it as, how did they call it? Was it like a, I can't remember what they referred to it as now, but I think they said like a legendary deck, I think it was. But you've taken this legendary deck and given it this makeover on thicker cardstock, redesigned, taken the languages off, and the end result is spectacular. It's a stunning deck that I'm so glad to have in my collection. So again, thank you, Cheryl, as well, for sending this for us to have a look at. You know how excited I was about this deck coming out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and what you think to the new version in particular. And do check out the deck at Oneness Emporium. Link will be in the description below. This isn't a independently produced deck, so you can use the code to get 10% off if you're so inclined. Use it at checkout, and the code is here, Hermits10. And yeah, thank you for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.